Hello and welcome to another Heatstroke Games painting tutorial for Masters of the Universe Battleground. In this tutorial we're going to finish up the bases for the terrain. First thing I'm going to do is come in with some Vallejo Game Color Earth, and I'm going to do an overbrush of all of the rocks and the sand and the dirt that surround all of the terrain. I did go and touch all of this up with a base coat of black after we did the dry brushing for the walls, just to make it sure it's uniform and a nice base layer to put this earth onto. And while you're dry brushing all of these colors that we're going to use for these bases here, don't forget to get a little bit onto the walls, make it look like it's dirty and dusty. Put the paint anywhere you kind of want to. You don't want to go overboard. You don't want it to look like it's painted. You want it to look like it got there from wind and such. So the next thing we're going to do is use a 50-50 mix of that Vallejo Model Color Earth and then Vallejo Model Air UK Light Stone, and I'm going to go through and paint all of the rocks before we get to highlighting those and dry brushing those. Now we're going to come in and shade all of the bases that we've painted with some Agrax Earth Shade. You can have it pool up a little bit in between the rocks up against the wall, but just go ahead and paint it all over the base. Now we're going to come back through with that Vallejo Game Color Earth and dry brush the bases again. Go ahead and get all the rocks. You'll see some skulls in some of these bases. Don't worry about those. We're going to pick those up at a later date. So go ahead and dry brush those if you need to. But just go ahead and dry brush the entire base again with that earth. Now I'm going to come in with some Vallejo Model Color Iraqi Sand, and again we're going to dry brush the bases. You want to dry brush a little bit less, you want to have a little less paint on your brush so the earth and the Iraqi sand kind of blend together. And don't forget to hit those walls. Here I'm coming in with that Vallejo model color light stone, and I'm working on just hitting the larger rocks that are up against the wall, just to give it a little bit of a color differentiation between the wall, the rocks, and the dirt. And the last thing we're going to do here is come in with some Vallejo Game Color Bone White. And again, we're just going to dry brush the rocks and the sand and the dirt. And don't forget to hit a little bit of the walls. And that'll be it for this tutorial. Come back later, we'll do some more work on some of this terrain. And until next time, embrace your geek.